Hey guys, it's Miley from the other side of the ride. Taking a different way to work today to see if I can avoid that stupid road construction. Anyway, I was asked about the fear and just stop it. And it was put before me that it's really hard for people just to stop what they've been doing, what's become habitual. You know, it's easy to say quit smoking. It's much more difficult for someone to figure out how to do it. Well, you know, as I said before, a lot of it has to do with fear of the discomfort, of facing the discomfort, how to get through the discomfort. You know, a lot of it is being mindfulness, mindful of your thoughts and your body and where you're at in the moment, and living in that moment rather than living in the future or living in the past. Another example of people having trouble just stopping it is our emotional things. You get into a fight with your girlfriend and you're yelling before you realize you're yelling. You didn't realize how angry you were until after the fact, until after it's happened. And this comes from not being mindful of where you're at in the moment. You're so focused on whatever you perceive as the problem or the battle that you're not paying attention to your own actions. That falls into lots and lots of categories. That anything that you do that's habitual, it's because you're not focused on what you're doing. You're focused on other things. Okay, that's real easy to say. It's much more difficult to execute. But part of that's because we live in a culture, in the Western culture, that people are brought up to not do those things, to not focus on what's going on in their body and their mind and what they're actually experiencing. You know, there's lots of arguments about why this happens, you know, entitlement and the instant society and instant gratification. And these are all learned behavioral patterns. And that means they can be unlearned. So, if you want to just stop doing something, you have to retrain yourself. But to retrain yourself, you have to be aware. And self-awareness is where a lot of us struggle. You know, I've said before that people want to blame others for what's going on in their lives. And blaming others is not being self-aware. You know, we are all in charge of our own lives. We are all part of the dynamics of any relationship, or of every relationship that we're involved in. You know, I've worked with people who just want to blame their significant other, their partner, for everything. Well, you can't do that. Your partner's not responsible for your behaviors. I've heard so many times that she just kept on. She pushed me and pushed me and pushed me until I snapped and I yelled at her, or I hit her, or I left her. Well, you kept yourself in that situation rather than getting out. We have this victimization mindset. Anyway, that's a different conversation, different topic. The important thing here is being mindful of ourselves. And, well, when you're mindful of yourself, you're no longer a victim. But Eastern philosophies teach meditation as a way to be mindful of your body and what you're experiencing. And Western societies tend to shy away from that and, you know, think it's some sort of new age mumbo jumbo, but it really isn't. It is nothing more than being aware of who you are and what your thoughts are, what your body is doing. responsibility for ourselves, and we aren't mindful of ourselves. So if you want to stop it, then start being mindful of yourself. If you struggle with that, start meditating. Don't even have to do formal meditation. It's not like you're sitting down and got your legs crossed in lotus position and saying none of that's necessary. Just being aware of yourself. Bring your awareness back to yourself and what you're feeling at any particular moment in time. People struggle with this, though. People struggle with living in the moment. They want to live in the future and try to predict, and the predictions are what cause the anxiety and the fear. But if you take some time, especially when you're anxious, and center yourself, pay attention to what your sensations are, your tactile sensations. Feel your feet on the floor and the chair that you're sitting on, your back against it, and what you're touching. Pay attention to the colors in the room around you or wherever you're at. Pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to your thoughts. This will bring you back to the moment and stop the anxiety, or at least decrease it. It's been said that the human mind cannot think of more than one thing at a time. Well, there's those of us whose mind just flicks back and forth between subjects real quick, so it feels like it's more than one thing at a time. But if you maintain your focus, and you maintain thinking about your feet touching the floor, and the chair you're sitting in, and the colors around you, it's really hard for your mind to flip back and forth. Yes, things will pop into your head. Let them. Don't focus on them. Go back to thinking about where you're at. And that will relieve the anxiety. That will also allow you to, when you start training yourself to do that, to be more aware of your situation in any moment in time. And suddenly you start realizing what you're actually experiencing rather than projecting onto other people and creating fears and anxieties. When you acknowledge your experiences, you can control them better. Okay, people, I need to get over. Wow, not getting caught in the road construction sure does make it easier to get to work. But yeah, it's the other thing that came up before I get to my office. Let's see if I can get this out real quick. The other thing that came up is how do you get through fear? Well, the only way through fear is straight through it. And that brought up the question of, well, it takes some people longer to get through the fear than it does another. I'm not sure I agree with that. It's everything is action, and sure, it may take some people longer to develop the courage to get through the fear, but I don't think that's what's being discussed. Or maybe it is. The other thing is that there are differences between fears and phobias, and phobias are handled differently. They're irrational, and you can't just think your way through them, but you still have to deal with them. I have a strange phobia about bridges, but if I live my life where I won't cross a bridge, the only way that I can get from here to there is by sucking it up and going across the bridge. I just have to push through it, and it's not a matter of psyching myself up so much as it's just doing it. So the question of it takes some people longer to push through fear, I'm not sure I agree with. It's just do it. Anyway, I'm at the office now.